Tax season is here. Don't fall for these common scams, with the IRS now accepting people's tax returns for 2025. A federal watchdog is warning Americans to beware of so-called phishing and smishing scams designed to trick people into unwittingly handing over their personal information. One common scam: robo-emails or texts bearing the subject line "tax refund" that appear to come from the IRS or a state tax office, the Federal Trade Commission said in an online notice. Recipients are told their tax refund has been processed or approved, but that they must verify their identity by clicking a link and providing personal information, such as a social security number and bank account details. The FTC urged tax filers not to click on such links, which could allow criminals to steal personal data and even your tax refund. Know that the real IRS and state tax offices won't reach out by text, email, or on social media to get your information, the agency said. Only scammers will. Another scam: a caller posing as an employee of a fake government agency says you owe back taxes, then tries to connect you with a tax resolution officer who asks for your information to check your status or enroll you in a supposed IRS program. Such calls are also intended to pilfer people's personal information, according to the FTC, which urges anyone to immediately hang up. Tax scams are not just limited to tax season. The IRS compiled a list last year of some of the most common scams taxpayers should look out for year-round. Users can report abusive tax schemes by filling out online Form 14242, report suspected abusive tax promotions or preparers, according to the IRS. To report scam messages, the FTC said, you can check the Report Junk option on your phone or forward unwanted texts to 7726 spam, which alerts telecommunications providers about potential scams. Tracking your tax refund. Filers can check the IRS's "Where's My Refund" tool to get an update on the status of their return, with the agency typically providing information about 24 hours after an electronic filing. People who file paper returns will need to wait about 4 weeks for their status to show up in the "Where's My Refund" app because it takes longer for those filings to get logged by IRS employees compared with automated processing of e-filed returns. You'll need to provide the following info to use the agency's "Where's My Refund" app: Social Security or Individual Taxpayer ID number, ITIN. Filing status, such as married, filing jointly. Exact refund amount on your return. The app will show one of several update statuses. Return received. This means the IRS has received your return and is processing it. Refund approved. This indicates that the IRS approved your refund and is preparing to issue it by the date shown. Refund sent. This means the IRS sent the refund to your bank or to you in the mail. Tax season is here. Don't fall for these common scams. Tax season has a way of sneaking up on people. One minute you're settling into the new year, and the next you're digging through drawers for W-2s, passwords, and patience. With the IRS now accepting 2025 tax returns, millions of Americans are filing, waiting, and watching closely for refunds. And scammers? They're watching too. Every year, as tax season ramps up, so do the schemes designed to prey on confusion, urgency, and hope, especially the hope of a fast refund. Federal watchdogs warn that phishing and smishing scams are once again on the rise, and they're getting harder to spot. One of the most common tricks arrives quietly, right on your phone or in your inbox. A text message or email pops up with a promising subject line: "Tax refund approved," or "Your refund has been processed." It looks official. It sounds reassuring. And then comes the hook: a link asking you to verify your identity by entering personal details like your social security number or bank account information. That's the moment scammers are counting on. According to the Federal Trade Commission, the real IRS and state tax agencies will never contact you by text, email, or social media to ask for sensitive information. Ever. If a message pressures you to click a link or act immediately, it's not the government. It's a con artist trying to steal your identity or, worse, your refund. Another common scam comes through a phone call. The voice on the other end claims you owe back taxes and urgently need to resolve the issue. Sometimes the caller pretends to work for a government agency. Other times, they offer to connect you with a so-called tax resolution officer who can help, for a fee, of course. The goal is always the same: scare you into handing over personal or financial information. The advice from experts is simple but crucial. Hang up. Legitimate tax agencies do not demand immediate payment over the phone or threaten arrest. Scammers rely on panic. The best defense is calm skepticism. And these scams aren't limited to a few hectic weeks in the spring. The IRS warns that tax fraud happens year-round, targeting anyone who files, prepares, or even thinks about taxes. That's why the agency encourages people to report suspicious activity using Form 14242, which helps authorities track abusive tax schemes and preparers. If you receive a scam text, there are easy steps to help shut it down. Use your phone's report junk option or forward the message to 7726 spam. That simple action alerts your wireless provider and helps protect others from falling into the same trap. While scammers thrive on uncertainty, the IRS offers legitimate tools to give taxpayers peace of mind. One of the most useful is the Where's My Refund tracker, which allows filers to safely check the status of their return without relying on emails, texts, or third-party messages. For those who file electronically, refund information typically appears within 24 hours. Paper filers will need more patience, around 4 weeks, since those returns take longer to process. To use the tracker, you'll need 3 pieces of information: your Social Security number or ITIN, your filing status, and the exact refund amount listed on your return. Once logged in, you'll see one of 3 updates. Return received, meaning your paperwork is being processed. Refund approved, indicating your money is scheduled to be sent. Or refund sent, confirming it's on the way to your bank account or mailbox. In a season already full of numbers, deadlines, and fine print, scammers try to make things even more stressful. But awareness is power. Knowing how the IRS actually communicates and how it doesn't can save you from costly mistakes. So as you file, double-check, and wait for that refund. Remember this: if a message rushes you, scares you, or asks for personal information out of the blue, pause. The IRS will never chase you through texts or emails. Scammers will. And this tax season, staying informed might be the most valuable return of all.